The offender database reported that in 2018, Christopher Noble, a transgender paedophile sex offender, commenced a clandestine new existence as a woman, Christyl Knight, after undergoing transition while incarcerated in a Scottish prison. Christopher Noble, 32, underwent a gender change to Christyl Knight while incarcerated for possessing over 4,000 abhorrent images and videos of children as young as 6 months. The convict seeks a new beginning. Nevertheless, child protection specialist Claude Knights cautioned that permitting these persons to conceal a hidden history is a perilous approach. An indignant mother, whose son was slain by a paedophile, has called for legislative reform regarding Christyl Knight's new existence as a female. Campaigner Margaret-Ann Cummings, 43, asserted that sex offenders should be mandated to retain the identities for which they are incarcerated. Her 8-year-old son Mark was murdered by convicted sex offender Stuart Leggate, 42, in 2004. She stated that authorities should not permit paedophiles to alter historical narratives. They must maintain their identities while being registered. Where does this end? Will sex offenders soon be getting treatment on the NHS to change the way they look? She added, "It's not unusual for sex offenders to want a new identity, but this is the most disturbing case I've heard of. When someone, so soon after getting out of jail, is trying to change not just their name but their sex and appearance too, it sounds like they're trying to hide rather than reform." Echoing her calls, child protection expert Claude Knights said, "Anyone who's fueled the vile trade in indecent images of children and therefore contributed to their sexual abuse should not be allowed to change their name." The Scottish Sun traced Christyl Knight to a flat in Aberdeen, where she moaned her life had been a misery in tough Grampian Nick, Peterhead. And she insisted her transition is not a ploy to hide her vile past. Christyl Knight said, "I can't help being transgender. I've realized since I was about 13. To start the process in jail was, you wouldn't believe the I had to put up with. I was in a male hall behind my door 24/7 for 4 months. Do you honestly think someone would want to change sex just to hide a conviction? It's a long, hard process." It's understood she appears on the sex offender list as Christyl Knight. She lives alone and claims she doesn't talk to anyone, adhering to the strict rules of her early release. And she revealed the license, which forces her to sign in at a cop shop, ends this week. She was nicked in the city's Tory in July 2015 after a tip-off from the National Online Child Abuse Agency. Cops found 4,224 indecent photos and 11 explicit videos of kids under 13 on a laptop, mobile and USB in the home. A computer showed a live web chat discussing the sharing of children. The then-bearded pervert admitted downloading and distributing 2,000 vile pics and was caged for 21 months in 2016. Christyl Knight, who was recently made bankrupt due to nearly $19,000 in debt, added, "I've lost everything. I regret it. I'm moving on with my life." James Morton, of the Scottish Transgender Alliance, said, "Our understanding is that transitioning does not erase your past if you're a sex offender. You have to give your new name to the police. Trans people usually encounter greater suspicion. I don't think it helps people blend in." The Scottish Prison Service does not comment on individual prisoners but said cons are dealt with according to their gender when they're jailed.